हेलो एवरीवन, आप सभी का स्वागत है। टुडे इज आवर वीक 10 सेशन एंड it has been a long journey for most of us, wherein we have been discussing the problems, the issues faced by the learners during this course on entrepreneurship and incubation. And besides, discussion of the queries and questions, we had been solving a set of 10 questions which were similar in typology, so that it gets beneficial for the students while they are attempting their assignments based on weekly quizzes, as well as preparing them for the final examination, which will be conducted in a physical form. So as of now, probably if you see, we have been uh, we have had around 90 set of questions which are different from the assignment ones. And these were week specific questions which we floated, we discussed how to address them, how to answer them. And we'll add one more set of 10 questions today. So that will sum it up as 100 questions, or a question bank of 100 questions, wherein we go through each and every week and try and address these questions. So up till now, it has been quite an interesting journey. I mean, I do understand that the learners have their academic and professional engagements, because of which not many of them have been able to take part into these sessions. But nevertheless, I think those who had an interest, who had time, were probably in these meetings, in these calls. And that is something which we look for. I mean, if you have any questions, if you have interest, we are there to help you, to aid you, and to suggest, whatever best we can from our understanding, from our learning, from our, experiences, so that you in your journey of entrepreneurship excel. And that has been the idea of all the panel members, all the professors who have, taken up sessions week wise in this particular course. And the idea is to foster you, to help you, to guide you, to mentor you in terms of taking ahead this journey of entrepreneurship, taking ahead this journey of understanding what are the different ways, what are the different means available for startups, what are the different hand holding facilities which are available for the startup to take leverage of that, take benefit of that, and apply in those incubation centers, apply in those hand holding centers, and flourish with your ideas. Take your startup to a different level, take your startup to the level of sustainability, where you have already reached the break even and you are going ahead with that. So that has been the idea, and that has been the core propeller of this course, that whosoever wants to deep dive into this area of entrepreneurship should not hesitate. The course will help you, guide you in terms of understanding what are the nuances, what are the mistakes which startups usually do, what are the different pitfalls wherein get hold in it. So how to avoid them is something which one needs to figure out based on their journey, based on whatever they are pursuing in terms of area, whether into a product segment or a service based segment, and then try to resolve out of it. So we have seen previous sessions about how important it is to build a strong team, how important it is to be aware of the intellectual property, and patenting your concept and your product or an outcome, as well as keeping the legal things in hand. I mean, documenting each and everything. So these things are something which we do understand, and understanding becomes much more important and elaborated when we see different examples. And that's what the course has been doing. Various case studies, various entrepreneurs have been telling their own story, their own failures, their own challenges, so that we learn from these challenges, we learn from their mistakes, and probably try to avoid them, and we are trying to pursue this particular course. And particularly our own journey of entrepreneurship in whichever segment we want to pursue. Okay. So with that kind of a brief, introductory note, let us try to have a quick and brief interaction with the learners who are here now, and eventually then we'll proceed with our session of, talking about the brief preview of the course, going ahead with the 10 set of sample questions, which are week specific to week 10, and then doing a content recap of what was discussed in week 10, what we talked about. So maybe we can start with Bhavna. Hello, Bhavna.
Hello, sir.
So Bhavna, just a quick rounds up, how have you been and how are you finding the course, and what have been your perspective about the course up till now?
Uh, Sir, till now, though, it's going very uninteresting because, as I told you before, that I have already been, in this journey, and I could see so many red flags and so many shortcomings which I did in the previous startup, and somehow I'm trying to fill those gaps with the course and. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड शायद वो सक्सेसफुल कुछ कर पाऊँ मैं।
Very nice, very nice. तो वाला, if you want to just share one or two red flags you mentioned, बहुत सारे आपने red flags देखे, तो क्या एक दो आप शेयर करना
सर
चाहेंगे?
एक दो तो मैंने आपको लास्ट मतलब मैंने मेंशन किया था कि टीम एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम जब आनंद जब मेरा स्टार्टअप था तो वी वर ओनली टू पीपल एंड वी बोथ वर डिजाइनर्स so that was the biggest mistake we did. We should have a interdisciplinary team. So to cover every aspect of either market or product or user or I mean, overall solution निकालने के लिए और it should work well. उसके लिए टीम अच्छी जरूरी चाहिए. So that is one mistake I did. Then second mistake was I should have actually contacted incubator क्योंकि आइडिया काफी रॉ था और वी जस्ट वेंट विद द फ्लो कि ठीक है वी आर गेटिंग सम वर्क लेट्स टेक इट एंड वी वर नॉट वरीड ऑफ how the financials will go so and what is our future I mean we never thought of that we lived in the future and we lived in the present and we never thought कि हमारा business आगे कैसे चलेगा so that was another mistake we did.
I think living in the present is one of the most difficult tasks. If you were able to do that, I think it has been.
No, so honestly, sir, वो टाइम हम लोगों ने काफी एंजॉय किया. Apart from making money, I mean, we couldn't make so much of money. That's why we had to stop. But the time we, dedicated to the startup, the whole time we actually enjoyed doing whatever we were doing. So that gave us, a lot of confidence. And one thing is, we got a lot of traction also. कुछ न्यूज़पेपर में छपा कुछ टीवी आई मीन कवर हुआ कहीं पे वीडियोस एंड ऑल बट वो सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए है मतलब एक्चुअली में जो वी वर नॉट गेटिंग मनी इवन टू पे आवर रेंट that's why we just 1.5 year या 2 years में we had to shut down and now now I get all the calls still now whether you're still in that practice can we do something so it's funny, but I mean, I don't regret. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So,
That's a
but
good
yeah,
thing, I think. Yes, yes.
हाँ, but course से actually सर काफी चीजें clear भी हुई as I said कि team important है, incubator is very helpful. I think उस time शायद incubation इतने ज्यादा थे नहीं, but now काफी ज्यादा हो गए and it's comparatively easy to approach them. Um, I think every IIT has some, IIT and ID, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ है. So I'm very hopeful कि down the line कभी जरूरत पड़ेगी तो I can really approach.
So I think that is a
सर
very,
एक
very,
मुझे
yes, yes,
सर एक मुझे एक क्वेश्चन था if I'm not taking up your time if
yes,
may I have
please.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है कि प्रोडक्ट तो एक साइड हो गया एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट सर्विस सो इज देयर अ वे कि हम उसको भी पेटेंट कर सकते हैं या फिर कुछ कॉपीराइट या फिर कुछ आई मीन आईपीआर कर सकते हैं आई हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट दिस बट क्या ये अदर देन प्रोडक्ट में भी पॉसिबल है कि कोई हमारा आइडिया ना स्टील करे या आई मीन हाउ टू प्रिवेंट दैट आप थोड़ा शॉर्ट में बता दीजिए
Yes, Bhavna, I think we can take that up at the end. Okay,
अच्छा
so let us first try to interact and get a hands-on with the other members. Okay,
Okay, sure, sure, sure.
and that was really appreciative of you to actually acknowledge, what went wrong, accepting the facts, and because many times what we have seen is that startups, they are so close to their idea, they are not ready to give away those ideas or even to acknowledge what were the wrong steps they had taken. Okay, so many times also it happens that within incubators, the people there are, they are trying to guide you, to help you. Many times they feel that they are being the leg pulled or taken otherwise. So it's a good thing that you were able to actually acknowledge that these were the issues which were there, which you couldn't foresee, and that was the reason of the closure.
Sir, you rightly said, but this is the thing which I am now acknowledging. At that time, we were also like this. I mean, we were very close to our idea and very emotionally connected that we couldn't leave
Hmm.
that idea. That's why we couldn't, flourish.
Right, right, right. Okay, I mean, see, for learning, stage is always there. Whichever stage
Yes,
you are, if you
yes,
are
yes.
able to accept the things, and then you are able to rectify and modify and proceed further. So best wishes for that, Bhavna.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. We have Tarun Vaishnav. Hi, Tarun.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit about yourself and, how are you finding the course up till now?
So I'm a student in Jaipur Purnima University, and like this is mandatory for us to do this kind of courses. Even like I have a keen interest in business and in the growth of business, so I started this course, and so many things I have learned through this course and from YouTube. So what I started recently, my father has a business, so I started a kind of startup as a partner kind of thing. We like hired some interns, and like the thing is that interns are unpaid, and the tech lead. I arranged a tech lead from my university. Tech lead is a doctorate, has a degree of PhD. So they are creating a application. Doctor will upload any kind of X-ray image, and then our application will predict and give data. What is the cost in that? Is there a broken bone or something else? So we are creating that machine learning model and all these things. And I learned so many things from this course to like and with other teachers in my university, and we also have an incubation center in my university. So like some I think like there are so many things which I have learned recently, which earlier I was not aware that I can do these things also. And most of the time things are in front of us in like they are in like in front of us, but we are not aware like, that we can also take leverage of them. So even everything is mind blowing what I'm doing, but yeah, that's something, like as I told you that we have a team lead. So that the tech lead is under me. Tech lead has a degree of PhD, and under that tech lead, there are interns working. So it is just very easy, like because I know how to manage people and how to manage things around me. And I think now my startup is like a little bit going higher and higher. Let's see what will happen in future. Yeah, there are so many challenges and so many things are there.
Nice, nice. So, Tarun, which year currently you are in? Which year of study?
I am in fourth year right now. I'm
Your
pursuing my bachelor's
bachelor's in?
in electronics and communication.
Okay, okay,
It's a
okay,
BTech.
okay. And you are already, managing a lot of resources, as what I've understood from your right?
Yes,
You're managing a team of people. So you have registered your startup and done those things.
I registered in MSME and I applied for that GST, but GST
GST.
I didn't got till yet.
Okay, 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 okay. Interesting, interesting. And your proposal is around a mobile application based kind of a service?
Yes, the thing is that we have a big customer base
Mhm.
because my father has an organization, GS Healthcare, where we manufacture X-ray machines and we deal in all kind of hospital equipment. So we have a big customer base. We can supply to them, and there are so many hospitals, doctors, and colleges where we can subsidize our application so that uh, students, doctors, everyone can use to identify what the cause in that X-ray image, or we can even in future extend that for different kind of use cases because human body is consists of so many kind of diseases and all these things are there. So
Clicks. So I think you must be getting a lot of experiences, experience sharing, and insights from your parent as well. You said that he's into the industry,
yeah, yes sir.
so a lot of guidance, a lot of insights कि यहाँ problem है, यहाँ नहीं, यहाँ पे कुछ कर सकते हैं as a solution.
Not like this because my father has a not. He don't think like that.
अच्छा.
He's a old school guy like this,
Okay.
so he don't have a vision for that. But I'm telling him that yeah, we can do this kind of things. Then he validates, yeah, this can be possible. This is possible. Yeah, we can do. And
Okay.
then
So
he
basically,
share
you are
his thoughts.
pitching, what can be done, and then he validates those things.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Nice. Nice. Very nice. So great, Tarun. It was really nice to hear from you, and that you are actively taking so many steps besides your, studies, to make your startup, go ahead. So great to hear that.
thank you.
We have Jemish as well. Hi, Jemish.
Hi, sir.
So I
Good
think
evening,
it's
sir.
it's been quite a while since you have attended a session. Is it?
Yes, sir. Because last 2 weeks there was a mid-sem exam going in our college, so that's why I missed 2 class. And before I am going, I went into one startup fest Gujarat named event. So on one Saturday I was there.
Nice, nice. So, Jemish, please tell us, I mean, how are you finding the course? Were you able to submit the assignments, weekly quizzes and all? Are you participating in it? और कैसा जा रहा है course?
Yes, sir. The course is very good, and I missed, I think, two assignments because I am learning about my mid-sem exam and preparation was going on, so that's why I missed it.
Hmm.
Just two assignments, and which and I submit all assignment on the time.
That's very nice. That's very nice. And I believe that there are many, students from your batch as well who are attending this course.
No, sir. From my batch, I am only student who take this course.
So you are the only one who is,
Yes, sir.
okay, okay. Fine, fine. Okay, Jamesh, thank you so much. We'll now proceed with our session today, and basically I'll be sharing my screen, and that screen will include a primer of the course, followed by a 10 set of questions, and then finally a content recap of what were the content of week 10. So just quickly tell me, Bhavna and Jamesh, were you able to go through the course content of week 10? Both of you, if you can just tell me, so that accordingly I'll be prepared to look at the questions. So, Jamesh, you may be, yeah, please tell.
I think I just completed week 9 assignment.
Okay, okay. So, week 10 probably content you won't be, you have not seen, right? Till now?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. What about you, Bhavna, if you can tell?
Me too, sir. I haven't gone through it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So let me put my screen on share and just one of you can please quickly tell me if it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. So now we are entering into week 10 and we don't have much of live sessions left, as in it is going in sync with the week-wise content. So up till now, till week 10, the content has been released, the assignment has been released, and we are going in parallel with the course content. Okay. So this is week 10 and in all it's a 12-week course. So the course instructor is Professor VK Chakravarti sir, who is from IDC School of Design. My name is Abhishek, and from background, I am an architect and industrial designer. And after that, I worked in professionally in Infosys and Think Design and had my own startup. After that, I was into teaching. I taught at a few institutions, and currently, I am pursuing my uh, PhD. So I'm currently a research scholar at IT Roorkee. I'm into my second year. Okay, so these are the basic, outline. I mean, like I have said that there is a protocol which I usually follow for each of my session, wherein, the initial few slides are the same, wherein we try to inform our students about how the course is, how it is formulated and, the things around basic details. So these live sessions are basically to help you in the current run of courses. So we are basically dealing with the course content specific to week 10. We shall discuss and solve week specific previous year assignments. So this course was floated last year as well, and utilizing that question bank, sorry, utilizing the question bank will be floating those questions which will be based on the similar week wise content which has been presented. So it will be a set of 10 questions like you see in your assignments. Same typology of questions we'll be having. So those questions we'll be discussing and we'll be, discussing in terms of, what could be the right answer based on your thought process, based on your understandings. We'll also respond to questions and queries posted in discussion forum. We have been doing that since quite a time, and not only in the live sessions, but also we try to, put up an answer or respond to the queries on the discussion platform itself. This is something which you have added recently, which is the content recap. So, like I've seen that, many times the students are not able to, go through the week specific lecture. And that's where, this thing will actually help and aid them in terms of understanding the what happened down the previous week's content. And, one thing which I've also added is that, for each question, I've stitched a content recap to it. Okay. So what happens is that there is a question, and before the answer of the question comes in, there is this slide which has basically snippet snapshot of the course content. So we are able to validate, we are able to see what was informed in that particular course or lecture, and that is how the answer is coming in a certain way, right? So these things have helped me in terms of explaining to students in a much better way. So these things have been incorporated. Okay. Tarun, if you can mute yourself, I mean there are some disturbances which are there. Yes, thank you so much. All right. So during the live session, it is requested all to please keep your mic on mute to avoid any noise disturbances. As you are also aware that this is a live session which is also being recorded. Okay. So the idea is that we record the session and we upload it on YouTube so that, whenever a learner is comfortable, he or she has time, they can actually assess it and go through the entire session once again. Obviously, you can unmute yourself if you want to ask any questions or if you want to share or discuss anything. Usually, we have promoted this platform, which is the offering of NPTEL platform called Discussion Forum. How Discussion Forum helps is that whatever questions you have, if you post in Discussion Forum, basically it becomes evident to all the learners. So whosoever has enrolled for this course will be able to see this question along with me as your conduct of a live session as well as people from the NPTEL team. Okay. So with all these three stakeholders, they can see the question and accordingly they can respond to the question and they can see, so if you post a question and if I try to reply to it, I mean the answer or the result of the question will be available to all the learners. That is how it helps. This is basically the user interface of your platform, wherein you need to keep a check on announcements about the course, helps you see the week-wise content. Announcement helps you to go through, what are the different timelines for assignments and, things like that. So although this also gets been notified through your email. So if you would have listed through email, you can actually get all these announcements. Progress is there to help you, assess, how you are progressing week-wise. So from week 1 to probably week 9, you would be able to see your assessment scores out of 100, how you have performed, where have been the incorrect answers, and accordingly you must have been marked. Okay, so like in the previous couple of slides, I've mentioned that all these sessions are recorded. So these recordings are uploaded into my YouTube channel, and this is the link for the videos. Also, these annotated presentations are also uploaded in a shared Google Drive. So both are accessible and it is accessible through this link. So if you click on this link, it shows, July 23. If you click here, again, a sign will come of click here. This will actually lead you to an Excel where in Excel will have entries like week 1, week 2, week 3, and week specific YouTube links will be available. So you can click on those links, you can have a look, and then a common drive will be there. So within drive, if you click, you'll get week wise annotated PDFs. So all these presentations are uploaded in PDF format. See, it's not PPT because anybody can actually make the changes. So we don't want that to happen. And that is why the PDFs are uploaded. Okay, so I think by now everybody would be aware. The course name is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. The course instructor is Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir, who is essentially from IDC School of Design, which is within the premise of IIT Bombay. He's also been actively, working for DIC, which is Design Innovation Center. The course run is 12 weeks. We are currently into 10th week, so we have got 2 more weeks left. The course end date is 13th of October, but the live session will be ending most probably by 14th of October plus 1. So last plus 1 is basically a 1 hour session, which we would request NPTEL to ensure that it gets conducted, so that it's more like a primer of the entire thing, and we discuss if there is anything which is left or could be discussed. So final examination is on 28th of October and the last date for week 10 assignment is 4th of October. So just in case you are doing it for your academic requirement, it is always preferable that you align to these timelines and you fill your assignment 10 before or by 4th of October. Okay, so this is how if you click on progress, you'll be able to see, unit wise progress and, your assessment as well. So this is the course progress, which basically tells that, we have been able to complete more than 70% of the content. And just below it, you will find your scores. So if you have not seen your scores yet, I think it's always good that you click on this particular link of progress and you see your assessment scores. Okay. So this is basically about, examination and certification. Anybody who is interested can actually enroll in the course, can actually gain from the learnings, from the teachings, from the sessions of the panel members, professors who have been, talking, and, gain all those learnings. However, if you want to earn a certificate, you'll have to go through a channel of examination. Okay. So there will be a physical examination which will be conducted, which means that, you'll be going to a physical center and appearing for the examination. The exam fee is 1,000 rupees and the last date was 28th of August. So I believe that whosoever has an intent of taking the certification, earning the certification, you would have all registered for the examination. Okay. Now this is the criteria for earning a certificate. It's quite straightforward. The idea is that out of 12 assignments, we are taking the best 8. So we'll consider the best 8 for the internal assessment. So let me just iterate it. So you have your internal, you have your external, and you have your total or the final one. Okay. So by internal, what I actually mean is your week wise, sorry, week wise assignments. Okay. So this will be weighed out of 25%. Your external, which is your physical examination, will be weighed out of 75%. And this in total will be evaluated for out of 100 marks. Now, there are some criteria to each of them, wherein, you need to score more than equal to 10 out of 25. Here, you need to score more than 30 out of 75, which essentially means that you need to score more than 40 out of 100. Okay. Meeting this criteria is essential if you want to earn the certificate. Okay. Great. So now this is a basic and a very quick and a very brief highlight of, how we have been progressing from week 1 to week 2 and further. We started with, why startups fail, what are the mistakes of the startup, what about this lean startup. This was preceded by a panel discussion with these people who are basically entrepreneurs and who shared their opinion about it. Then we went on to the week 3, which talked about the methodology of innovation, the 7 concerns by Professor Chakravarti, and, followed by problem statement presentation. Week 4, we saw the case study of solar oven, wherein a student from ID Bombay who took up an academic project and, converted into a startup. It was his story around the solar oven. So week 5, we saw a lot of success stories in the domain of healthcare and innovation, followed by week 6, which was basically about IIT Bombay alumni, Ms. Shilpi and Ms. Dhayan, who talked about their startups and their challenges and how they've been growing. Week 7 was about humanizing technology and business model canvas, followed by week 8, wherein we saw the lean model canvas and the success story of Atomberg, which basically started with the BLDC fans and BLDC motors. They got into this segment of fans, and now eventually they are, expanding their product market in terms of getting into the juicer, mixer, and eventually into the segment of air conditioning as well. So week 9, we saw, the incubation facilities at IIT Hyderabad, and there were a lot of success stories as well under their Center for Healthcare and Entrepreneurship. And finally, we have come to week 10, which has segments on corporate to entrepreneurship, creative ideation, building POC, which basically means proof of concept, and network entrepreneurship. So here basically we see Professor Anil Gupta talking about Gyan and their Honeybee network, and then even Miss Anamika Day, who is helping Mr. Anil Gupta, who's also a PhD scholar, and she's working with Professor Anil Gupta, and so we learn about all of them, all of them in the content recap as well, and then you have the additional learning material. So if you have time, if you have interest, please go through them. These are basically in the form of PDFs, which have been uploaded into a Google Drive. Okay. So now coming on to the typology of questions. By far, most of you would have already understood, what typology of questions are asked in these kind of assignments. We have got basically two of them, wherein only one is correct and then one are correct. All right. So on the left hand side, if you see which soft drink do you want, maybe I would just select one of them. So if I am a fan of Fanta, I'll select Fanta. If I'm a fan of Coke, I'll select Coke. And what do you want in your milk tea? So it could be multiple things. So I can write, I want sugar, I want ginger, and I want cardamom. All right. So I can opt accordingly. Coming to the marking of multiple choice questions, this is quite important because we have seen a lot of students struggle in understanding, how the scheme of things work. Now, let me explain it with just a quick illustration. So there is a question and the answers, you have got options, and the correct answer is, say, for example, A, C, and D. These are the correct answers. Now, let us take different scenarios to understand, what we are talking about. So, scenario one says, if all the options chosen by the student are correct and no correct answer is being chosen, then full marks are awarded. So if I select A, if I select C, if I select D, I'll get full marks here. Okay. Let's go to scenario two. If at least one incorrect answer has been chosen, then no marks. Say, for example, you select A, B, C, D. You select all of them. Okay. Although your A, C, D are correct, but you have also chosen B, so no marks. Let me tell you another scenario. If you select A, B, and D, then also you'll get no marks because you are choosing B, which is an incorrect answer. Okay. Now let's come to scenario three. If only correct answers are chosen, but not all correct answers are chosen, then partial marks proportional to the number of correct answers. So I think it's clear. Say, for example, if these three are the correct ones, you happen to choose only A and D. Okay. So if chosen the correct answer A, you have chosen the correct answer D. Here you will get partial marks. Okay. Although you have not chosen C, but you have also not chosen B, which is the incorrect one. So for A and D, you will be getting partial marks. Okay. I hope there are no doubts in this particular marking factor. Okay, so finally we are here. We'll be discussing the 10 set of questions which are pertaining to the week specific questions. And the first question which you can see here is, as discussed in module 9, 3F have wide range of what? The options are electric appliances, unusual quirky products, automotive designs, and computer accessories. So take a time to think and please try to respond accordingly. So you can unmute yourself and you can speak because I am into screen sharing mode. I won't be able to see uh, either your chats or messages or even your hand raise. So I would request if you can just say it. I mean, what could be the right answer? I mean, just to tell you, so I think electric appliances सभी लोग समझते हैं बिजली के जो उपकरण होते हैं. We are talking about that. Unusual quirky products. So quirky basically means odd, or unpredictable, something which stands out. Okay. Automotive design हम सभी समझते हैं, car, the racing cars, the two wheelers, the four wheelers, they all come into the automotive segment. Computer accessories is basically a keyboard, mouse, and those kind of things. So so you have these options there. Let me just quickly see what's happening in the module. Anybody who would like to share? क्या हो सकता है? What could be the right answer for this? 3F. So just to help you and recall, Professor B.K. Chakravarti sir invited one of the speakers who worked in Philips, Panla Worker, and who had worked uh, for a lot of years at Philips, and he was from the IDC, ID Bombay, and then this was an example wherein the person was shifting from corporate to entrepreneurship. So basically, that guy and the journey of that guy was incorporated in this particular section of corporate to entrepreneurship. Okay, so to show you what kind of products they have, so you can see the kind of unusual things which they have kept. Apart from that, they let me just sketch it out. Although they have shown in their they also had something like this, where there were two circles and sorry, they also have something like this. Can anybody tell me what is this? It was something like this. They had a product like this, okay? And he showed in the video. I mean, could you guess what product is this? Okay, to give you an example, this thing rotates like this, and again this thing also rotates like this. This particular ball. Okay, so basically this is a clock. Okay, so after some time, if you will see, this is the hour hand and this is the minute hand. It's a quirky products, right? So sometime later you might see, eyes here and probably the eyes here. Such fascinating, and it takes different images of the eyes rolling down, going here and going there. Very interesting. I mean, see, this is what they got into the niche area of quirkiness. Okay, and then they try to position themselves wherein they got a lot of student crowd. Okay, because they actually would want to, they are more excited about these kind of products. Just imagine this being in a home kind of scenario. It won't fit in, right? So he positioned his range of products into a segment wherein the target audience was basically those students and the student group. In those days when you are in college, you kind of explore a lot of things. So in the course content also, he talked about the students from FTII who used to come, he used to gift photo frames, which were like having camera kind of a form factor, and then you have got a picture here. So those things and those kind of products were being made. So if you see, these are all unusual quirky products. So the correct answer to this is unusual quirky products. And can anybody tell me why 3F? Why 3F? Why do you think it is 3F? कोई बता सकता है? Just think about it. So मैं थोड़ा सा हिंट देता हूँ. So 3F stands for, so F, three things he elaborated. So if you see the content, the 3F stands for fun, form, and function. Okay, so that philosophy and the vision of making everyone, happy, everyone have fun. So you enter into a store, you see all these kind of quirky products. You feel excited, you feel amazed to see them. That was the basically the aim and the vision of having that kind of things there. So 3F designs, it stands where 3F stands for fun, form, and function. Okay, let's go to the question number two. As mentioned in module 9, which of these is not a common method of prototyping? Okay, so here Mr. Kumarisan was talking about prototyping, the various types of prototyping he mentioned, and within the prototyping also, what are the different methods he also explained. So the options have are additive, subtractive, forming, and deforming. What could be the right answer? So, Bhavna, would you like to attempt? Okay. Okay, we don't hear from anyone. So, eventually, we'll try to address the question. Okay. Just give me a minute. Just okay. So to give you a hint of what was being said, so this is the slide which professor had shown, wherein you have additive methods, you have subtractive methods, and forming methods. So additive, अगर आप देखें या clay को देखें या मिट्टी को देखें या POP को देखें, so you add on to it, है ना? आप चीजों को, you have something, you will add something more, you'll 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 add something more. Hmm? So you keep on adding materials, and that's how it takes a complete, form. All right. Now, the same thing if you want to make, you know, uh, through subtractive method, what it could be? Just imagine, stone. Okay. Now, how a stone carver would work on it? With chisel out. यहाँ से निकालेगा, यहाँ से निकालेगा, material निकालेगा, धीरे धीरे, So, for example, a basic form will come like this. Then he'll add more detailing, and then a more detailing, and all the detailings will come. Okay, तो यहाँ पे आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप सब्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं, आप मटेरियल को सब्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हो. Okay, you're taking out the material. That is why it is called subtractive. Forming में क्या होता है? You are giving a form factor to a material. Okay, जैसे कि उन्होंने एक एग्जांपल दिया था वैक्यूम फॉर्मिंग का. Thermoforming होती है ना, there are different types of forming. So you take a sheet, you try to heat it, and for example, if you want to make something of this shape, right, the sheet will come here, and then the vacuum will take out the air, and then you will get a basically a form like this. Okay. So these are the three methods: additive, subtractive, and forming. Okay. So the correct answers are, oh, sorry. So correct answers are additive method, but we are asking about which of these is not a common method of prototyping. यहाँ पे not की बात की गई है, तो यानी कि deforming जो है, this is the correct answer. Okay. Because common methods of prototyping include additive, subtractive, and forming methods. Okay. आगे बढ़ते हैं. प्रोफेसर अशोक पनवलकर. Now, प्रोफेसर अशोक कौन है? Let me just connect with the previous 3F designs. है ना? अगर आप ये पहले देखा हो 3F designs. Okay. 3F designs, Professor Ashok, who had worked into Philips for quite a long time of journey, and then he shifted his gear from corporate to an entrepreneur. All right. So he says, and he talks about, this particular phrase of dash power is the ability of children to pressurize their parents into buying them products. ठीक है. तो अगर आपने भी देखा हो, if there are small children and they go around, they see something in media and social media and physical stores, and they kind of जिद करते हैं ना, जिसको हम बोलते हैं जिद करते हैं. ठीक है. So they get attracted to a toy, they will get attracted to a product, and they will be like pressurizing their parents कि मुझे चाहिए. And there's something which you will see. I mean, if you go around in malls, if you see young parents with their kids roaming around and say Hamleys or crossword, they would actually take their parents and they say that, okay, let us, please buy me this, please buy me this, I want this, I want this. Okay. So this is basically a term which basically connects with the ability of children to pressurize their parents into buying something. So the buying behavior is very much driven by this particular persistence uh, or urge by a child to get something, and that is called something. So the options are emotional power, superpower, pester power, and pressurizing power. So just think about it. वो क्या है जिसको बच्चे जिद करते हैं, बोलते हैं कि नहीं मुझे यही चाहिए, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड समथिंग. सो टू हेल्प यू विद एन एग्जाम्पल. Okay, so this is what the Professor Ashok showed in. It was shown in the course content with the Professor Ashok. It's got pester power. Pester power. The ability of children to pressurize their parents into buying them products, especially items advertised in the media. ओके. तो वो फिजिकल मीडिया भी हो सकता है, सोशल मीडिया भी हो सकता है. आजकल तो बहुत सारी वेबसाइट्स भी आ गई हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म्स आ गए हैं वेयर यू कैन सी अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, you can gain access to a lot of them. तो जब आप next time if you go around and if you see this happening, you can actually relate and understand that this basically is the pester power of children. जिद करना. इसको हम लोग नैग बोलते हैं, नैग इफेक्ट भी बोलते हैं. मतलब अलग अलग कल्चर्स में दिस हैज बीन given a term, a specific term. So pester power is one of them. Okay. So tell me what would the correct answer. You've got emotional power, superpower, pester power, and pressurizing. The correct answer is C, which is the pester power. Okay. All right. We'll go to our next question. Okay. As mentioned by Professor Kumaresan, in the module 10, design never dash, it keeps on dash. Okay. So there is this blank one, and then there is this blank two. Okay. Design never क्या होता है? It keeps on क्या होता है? The option are it never ends, it keeps on evolving, it never starts, it keeps on changing, it never is meaningful, it keeps on meaningless, and it never evolves, and it keeps on challenging. तो थोड़ा सा इस पे सोचिएगा, just try to think about it. Uh, you know, try to relate with the content which Professor Kumaresan had shared and presented in the module 10 about, design never dash and it keeps on dash. So he also gave a very interesting examples of, how the Apple computers have transformed themselves in due course of time. And if you relate to that example and that particular case, you'll be able to address this particular question. Okay. As mentioned by Professor Kumaresan in module 10, design never dash, it keeps on dash. So let me help you with a snapshot of the course content. It says design never end, it keeps on evolving. ठीक है, तो हम कभी भी ये नहीं बोल सकते कि दिस इज द फाइनल डिजाइन, बिकॉज देयर इज ऑलवेज अ स्कोप ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट. डिजाइन हम लोग बोलते हैं इट्स एन आइटरेटिव प्रोसेस, बार बार करना पड़ता है, लोगों की जरूरतें चेंज होती है, टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज होती रहती है, एंड hence we need to improvise our design, so it never ends. Basically it keeps on evolving, है ना, हमारी जरूरतें चेंज हो रही हैं. You see this particular example of iMac, how it started, how it went about becoming more thinner and more minimalistic, you know so the form factor is changing, है ना, the technology is changing. How can you say technology is changing? Just see the amount of hardware which is being used in a system, and then it is being reduced to very very thin kind of a screen, right? So what we are saying is that it's an evolutionary process. Whichever product you see, you think about this receiver and telephones, it changed it into a mobile phone, with a keypad, and then to a touch. All right. So the evolution is happening, and it will keep on evolving. Okay. As with respect to our requirements, with respect to our changes, with respect to our need, technology, all these aspects are there, which kind of drives the entire processes. Okay. So the correct answer to this is design never ends. It keeps on evolving. Okay, this is the correct answer. ठीक है, अभी आगे बढ़ते हैं हम लोग. As mentioned by Professor Kumaresan in module 10, the various types of prototyping are. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने प्रोटोटाइपिंग के बारे में बताया था. प्रोटोटाइपिंग अलग अलग प्रकार की होती हैं, द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोटोटाइपिंग, एंड हर एक प्रोटोटाइपिंग का अपना एक फ्लेवर होता है. Some are in raw form, some are in crude form, some are more like a lookalike, and then some needs to exhibit the properties of an actual product. Okay, so now you have to understand, what are these different types of prototypes. Okay, but to begin with, I mean, what is the first step towards prototyping? कोई बता सकता है? First step towards prototyping क्या होता है? पहला स्टेप क्या होता है प्रोटोटाइपिंग के लिए? सो प्रोटोटाइपिंग जब हम सुनते हैं तो हमारे दिमाग में what comes to our mind is a physical form. Okay, but that physical form is an outcome because you have generated certain sketches, certain ideas. So sketches are your first step, or the primary step to start the prototyping process. Okay. And then you have, different prototyping methods, different prototyping typologies. So you have to tell those things. Okay. Now, to give you an example, these are the different types of prototyping. You have got idea, you've got scale, you've got working prototype. आइडिया में क्या है? क्रूड प्रोटोटाइप, क्विक एंड डर्टी प्रोटोटाइप. इसका मतलब क्या? बेसिकली वी आर सेइंग रॉ प्रोटोटाइप्स. ठीक है. क्रूड फॉर्म में मतलब वी डोंट वांट एनीथिंग, है ना, हमें फिनिश्ड नहीं चाहिए, हमें बिल्कुल अच्छा लुक एंड फील नहीं चाहिए अभी. क्रूड फॉर्म में जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, हाउ इट इज लुकिंग अलाइक, राइट. सो वी वांट क्रूड फॉर्म में, डर्टी फॉर्म में, प्रोटोटाइप्स. तो जैसे आपने देखा होगा इसमें भी वो एप्पल कंप्यूटर को शुरुआत में दिखाते हैं, है ना. So there was a screen and then there was all these things. There was certain buttons and everything was kept in open, but it was working. Okay. Then you have scale prototypes, which is look like prototypes. Look alike मतलब looks like, जो mockup होते हैं. Although they might not function, but their scale, their proportion will be very close to an actual prototype. Okay. So they might be 1:1, they might be a smaller scale. ठीक है. सो लुक अलाइक प्रोटोटाइप का जैसे मतलब आप समझ रहे हैं, इट विल हैव द सेम लुक एंड अपीयरेंस ऑफ एक्चुअल प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है. तो एक्चुअल प्रोडक्ट जैसी ही फीलिंग होगी वैसा ही दिखेगा, एंड इट कुड हैव डिफरेंट स्केल्स एज वेल. Then you have your working prototypes, which are basically the functional ones, है ना, जो they will work and they will also have the look and feel. So there will be having certain actions to perform which you are visualizing in your final product, but at the same time they will also have a look and feel of the prototype. Okay. So you can also see that there is a transition. जब हम यहाँ से यहाँ बढ़ रहे हैं, हम एक क्रूड फॉर्म से एक मच मोर फिनिश्ड फॉर्म, एक मच मोर वर्किंग फॉर्म की तरफ आ रहे हैं, right. So we can also say that different stages may we can make use of these idea prototypes, scale prototypes, or working prototypes. So the correct answers are idea, scale, and working. So this is the wrong answer, which means here A, B, and C are the correct answers. All right. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं हम लोग. अच्छा ना, अब हम आ रहे हैं, हम लोग ये जो क्वेश्चन है ये बेसिकली पर्टेन कर रहा है व्हेन वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्रास रूट इनोवेशन, एंड प्रोफेसर अनिल गुप्ता वाज हियर. ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट Gyan and the honeybee network, all so in that particular video and section we had also one more expert person who is Miss Anamika Day, and she mentioned some scheme. So she said that dash under that scheme small loans, यानी कि छोटे loans, कुछ लाख के होंगे, 2-2.5 लाख, 5 लाख, at very low interest rate were provided without any collateral, and if innovators tried and failed, it was converted into a grant. Okay. Now see the beauty of the scheme, right. तो ब्यूटी ऑफ द स्कीम है इसकी जो छोटे लोन्स है, मतलब हम बहुत हैवी नहीं है, मतलब अप टू 1 लाख, 2 लाख, 4-5 लाख, किसी को 20,000 चाहिए अपना काम को शुरू करने के लिए, किसी को 1 लाख रुपए चाहिए अपना प्रोटोटाइप और मशीन बनाने के लिए. सो व्हाट दे डिड वाज अंडर दिस स्कीम, बहुत कम ब्याज दर पे वो लोन दे रहे थे विदाउट एनी कोलैटरल्स. अभी अगर आप देखो तो आपको मान लीजिए एजुकेशन लोन लेना है या हाउसिंग लोन लेना है ना, all these loans require some collateral. तो बेसिक कोलैटरल का मतलब होता है गिरवी रख देते हो, है ना. अब आपके पास कोई जमीन होती है, यू हैव गॉट अ लैंड, Sorry, you have a land and you have vehicle. So basically, the assets are required against which the loan is given, loan is offered. But now these people, they understood that, these people are living on the margins. They might not have these kind of assets, they might not have these kinds of collaterals. So how do you aid them, if you still, so that is what basically which banks do, है ना? अगर आप बैंकिंग सेक्टर में आप हो, या फिर आप जानते हो, या आपके पेरेंट्स हैं बैंकिंग सेक्टर में, और यू हैव अ फ्रेंड, you'll be able to understand that, for every loan you need to have a collateral, and that is where it becomes very challenging for them to repay loans as well, जब तो डर बैठ जाता है कि भाई जब मैं लोन नहीं दे पाऊंगा तो ये सारी चीजें जब्त हो जाती हैं, ठीक है? but they take away the bank will take this thing if you are unable to pay the loan. So what they realize that there are many people who might have some very interesting idea. They might have some very interesting product in mind. They just need some support, and then what they also need is to reduce the burden of failing and being unable to pay a loan. And that is where they said that okay, we will provide you loan. You don't need to give anything as a collateral, and this is the major highlight. Even if you try and if you fail, we will convert it into a grant, which means that it will no longer remain a loan. It will become a grant, which is an aid which is provided, and you don't need to repay back. ठीक है? तो मान लीजिए आप लोग ट्राई कर रहे हैं, आपने कुछ प्रोडक्ट बनाया, आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं, यू आर ट्राइंग टू इम्प्रोवाइजिंग इट, आपने 1-2 लाख रुपए लगा दिए, आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं, बट फिर भी आप सक्सीड नहीं हो पाए, बट आपने कोशिश की ना। आपने काफी सारे अटेम्प्ट्स किए, but if still you fail, then it is converted into a grant wherein you don't need to pay any money back. So see the value this kind of scheme is bringing to all those people who are at the grassroots level, who want to try something, who want to come up with some have some ideas, have some spark in mind, but they are inhibited. They are controlling themselves, or they are not able to explore, or be make their products visible because of the constraints of loan and collaterals. So this scheme had the power of enabling these people to come out, explore, and to do something. So just think about it, and what do you think is the right answer? I'll give you an example. It's not an example, it's basically a snapshot. It's called Micro Venture Innovation Fund. Okay. Small loans at very low interest rate without any collateral and obligate. And innovators tried and failed, it turns to a grant. Okay. So the correct answer is C, which is all right. Micro Venture Innovation Fund is the correct answer. ठीक है, अभी यहाँ पे हम लोग विल जस्ट take a very quick break. Okay, we'll take a very quick break of like 2-3 minutes, and we will continue our journey. All right, so let me just post another question so that you are able to think about it, make use of tools available. So the question is, according to module 10, Sri Mansukh Bhai Prajapati is associated with dash making clay products. So he's associated with one of these things, which and he's using the power of clay, the power of soil to make certain things. Okay, so just try to think upon it, ponder upon this, and I'll be back. All right. Let's see if anybody was able to respond to it. Okay. Okay. So, according to module 10, Sri Mansukh Bhai Prajapati is associated with dash making clay products. So let me try to elaborate a little bit. So making terracotta clay products. Okay, that's a. Now let me tell you briefly about this person is also known as the soil man of India. Okay, so he made some great clay products out of clay, out of terracotta, and it's fascinating to see. Just imagine making a refrigerator out of clay, and it works well without any power supply, and even keeps the veggies fresh, and can also provide you cool drinking water. Okay. So your options are Fab India, Mitti Cool, Fruit Juicer, and Mixer Grinder. So if you can think of any solution out of it, Fab, what could be the answer, the correct answer? Okay. So let me just briefly tell you about. So this I have got from the Mitti Cool, their website. Um, his dream child Mitti Cool is an attempt towards connecting mankind more Ukibli with soil and clay, he already paving the way for Mitti Gold to both as. So some of the traces of clay products can still be seen processed in it, and which aims to refresh these memories and keep mind people about clay products. तो ये गुजरात के हैं वाकानेर ऐसे रहने वाले हैं is a successful entrepreneur who relished the idea of modernizing knowledge that the craftsmen of this country carry, but who can imagine of being why who initially working at a tea stall. So he started working at the tea stall. तो देखिए इन्होंने कैसे अपना आइडिया शुरू किया पहले चाय बेचते थे और धीरे धीरे इवेंचुअली he started working in this particular area and so this is what I was talking about मिट्टी कूल ये इनका एक रेफ्रिजरेटर है जिसमें आप वेजीज भी रख सकते हैं and you can get cool drinking water भी है आपके पास so it is acting both the ways. Mansukh Prajapati, he has got lots and lots of awards. और आप देखेंगे अगर अगर let us quickly go through the website, okay? I mean the kind of products he's making is really amazing. Okay, so let's see. So okay, this is the website, है ना? अगर आप देखेंगे leading manufacturer of terracotta, the soil man on a global mission. This is Mansukh Bhaiji. You can see the range of products, the earthen pots, clay products by women of real India. So he's also using the resources of women empowerment and then looping all the local people working it. And you see how has been felicitated by lots of people. So many people have been connected with him, seen him, has been awarded at so many places and so many platforms. The kind of work he's doing. It's got lots and lots of appreciation from community members, from the industry, from the state and government, all applauded. Okay, you see the visibility, 9+ states, 90 plus awards. So now you can actually see how he's expanding his business. You've got Handi has got started into the incense sticks aspect as well. You've got tawa, you've got the handi with a cover, then with a lid, biryani pot. See, it's so interesting, and see the earthen water filters, and let's go to earthen refrigerators. A very fascinating thing which kind of fascinated me. So it cost around 8,000. Right, so it has a kind of a glass display, and then see this art is so nice, some very crafty kind of a finish which has been provided, and you can keep your vegetables here, and you can also get a water. Completely made from terracotta clay, is ideal for storing water, milk, fruits and vegetables. तो आप दूध भी रख सकते हैं, दूध फटने का डर रहता है it runs without electricity, modern design, so amazing, so amazing. See, these are all the specifications. So kind of value you are bringing not only to an individual who has a limited, power supply or resources, or even kind of products he's making for the environment. From an environmental point of view, such a great thing, which is which is being working out. Amazing. And if you see some other products, these are the water filters. See the kind of artwork which has been created. You're leveraging the local people, their art factor, and then you are coming up with those things. Even if you see the websites, that has also have been created in such a great way. So look here, he has been awarded so many. So the moment you create something valuable, the moment you have some novelty, and you start getting traction, you start getting a lot of people involved, a lot of appreciation is there. But you need to have your customers as well. That is very, very important. The kind of value he's bringing to environment, to the people, I think it's amazing. And it's just that we as consumers need to value these stuff. Until unless we value and we purchase this, obviously, I mean, you see the entire dinner set is made out of terracotta. Mhm. Very interesting range of products. So you can go through it. If you feel like, you can buy it. Make yourself more environmental friendly. You can make your own style statement in this way. Okay. See, this is the clay water. This is the 11-liter pot. So nice. बहुत बढ़िया. Okay, so let us get back to our work. And he's doing a great work, and let us not get away and get carried away with that. So let us appreciate Mansukh Bhai, and if you get interested, please try to go ahead with these products. Okay. So yes, the correct answer is Mitti Cool. Uh, he's associated with this brand, started with the refrigerator and then followed into the segment of utensils and tawas, and the biryani holders with the lid, and the earthen pots, along with the water filters and lots of things, water dispensers, made out of all clay products. Coming on to our question number 8, according to Professor Chakravarti, why is there a need to learn systematic idea generation as discussed in module 10? है ना? तो बात हो रही है सिस्टमैटिक आइडिया जनरेशन की. इसकी क्यों जरूरत पड़ती है? प्रश्न ये है कि why there is a need to learn systematic idea generation. Okay, options are so that you don't miss any important concept, you do not miss any important idea, you don't miss any important feature of the final concept, you do not miss any important business pitch. तो आप कोशिश करें इसमें से what could be the right answer. Just try to think and attempt. So let me help you out. So basically what I've done is that what they were mentioning in the video format, I've tried to just collate it so that हम सबकी समझ के लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा. So professor showed a very short example and brief example of designing spoon, and he floated this kind of a brief in the class, and every student they took up spoon design, and eventually they made a persona for which they were kind of making the designs for the spoon. So this particular student Sarang, he was designing a spoon for 2 to 5 year old child, and if you see idea generation, you get and generate lots of ideas, and eventually what happens is that each and every idea might have certain potential, and you don't want to lose out on the essence of the potential of each and every idea. Okay, so the process followed here is that, or the systematic process of idea generation is that you try to cluster it. तो अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पे you have got 3 clusters. क्लस्टर्स आप अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग से बना सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल द वे द शेप और द हैंडल इज यूज्ड, द वे द माउथ ऑफ द स्पून इज यूज्ड, or the way the kind of intricateness or material, or so depending upon your scheme of things, you can make and form those clusters. Now for each cluster you need to create a cluster representative which will have the essence of each and every idea which you have created. Okay, now अब हर क्लस्टर का जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है उससे कॉन्सेप्ट का भी एक जर्नी है. तो आपने इसको लेके एक एक पर्टिकुलर आपने लिया इसमें से. फॉर एग्जांपल यू टुक दिस वन एंड यू ट्राई टू हाईलाइट इट. अब इसमें आप इन तीनों के जो अच्छे अच्छे फीचर हैं वो ट्राई टू इम्बाइब इन दिस. तो किसी का स्पाउट बड़ा था, है ना, तो आपने वो स्पाउट डाल दिया. किसी में आपने देखा हैंडल के साथ खेला गया है तो आपने हैंडल डाल दिया. तो आपने इन सारा फ्लेवर, ये जो सारे आइडियाज हैं, इन सारा का एसेंस आपके इस क्लस्टर के इस आइडिया में आ गया. ओके, एंड विच इज योर कॉन्सेप्ट 1. इसी तरह आप बाकी क्लस्टर्स के कॉन्सेप्ट 2 और कॉन्सेप्ट 3 लाएंगे और फिर उसको आगे फॉरवर्ड ले जाएंगे. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग हियर इज दैट यू आर नॉट missing out on each and every idea's feature. You are capturing all of them in a certain form. Okay, so the correct answer is so that you do not miss any important feature of the final idea. All right, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Second last question. According to Professor Anil Gupta, who is basically from the Honeybee Network, he is also from ज्ञान, ये शोध यात्रा भी कराते हैं. डैश इज नेसेसरी कंडीशन फॉर लर्निंग. तो उन्होंने बोला है कि लर्निंग के लिए बहुत ही जरूरी कंडीशन है. इनमें से क्या है? सरप्राइज, सफरिंग, एक्सीडेंट एंड नन ऑफ द अबव. ओके, प्रोफेसर अनिल गुप्ता इज आल्सो डिस्टिंग्विश्ड faculty at IIT Bombay, and he has been there at IIT Ahmedabad as well. So if you see, he's associated with the academics. He's also associated with so many organizations which he has tried to build up, right? So it's got lots and lots of experience, lots and lots of ground knowledge while meeting and interacting with people, and that's the kind of richness he has created with his movement of taking the grassroots innovation forward. So he says that dash is a necessary condition for learning, and which of these is the necessary one? Okay, so just give a thought, think about it. Correct answer is surprise. Is a necessary condition for learning. The day you are not surprised, you are not lived. Always look for surprises. है ना, हम सरप्राइज होते हैं, अचंभित होते हैं कुछ चीजों को देखते हैं. तो उनके हिसाब से सरप्राइज इज अ नेसेसरी कंडीशन फॉर लर्निंग. अगर आपको सीखना है, आपको सरप्राइज होना पड़ेगा, आपको चीजों को ऑब्जर्व करना पड़ेगा. ऑब्जर्व करके आपको थोड़ा सा चौंकना होगा, अचंभित होना होगा कि यू नीड टू गेट सरप्राइज्ड बाय द वेरी थिंग, and you have to step back, and to be surprised you need to be more observant as well. ठीक है, सरप्राइज तो आप होगे, बट आपको ऑब्जर्वेंट होना पड़ेगा ना. यू नीड टू एक्नॉलेज दैट थिंग, वट एवर इज क्रिएटिंग दैट expression of surprise. Okay, so to do that, you first need to be observant. To become observant, you need to live in the present. जब तक आप प्रेजेंट में नहीं जिएंगे, आप ऑब्जर्वेंट नहीं हो पाएंगे. आप ऑब्जर्वेंट नहीं हो पाएंगे तो आपकी जो छोटी छोटी खुशियां हैं, जो छोटे छोटे सरप्राइजेस हैं, वो आप एक्नॉलेज ही नहीं कर पाएंगे. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाई लॉट ऑफ योगीज यूज्ड टू से एंड लॉट ऑफ फिलोसोफर्स यूज्ड टू से try to live in the present, and that is why it is called present. It's a gift to us. Okay, हमें आज के समय में जीना है, हमें अभी के समय में जीना है. So the correct answer is surprise is a necessary condition for learning. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Coming to the last question, as mentioned by Professor Kumarisan in module 10, why is it important for designers to develop a prototype? Designers के लिए prototype बनाना क्यों जरूरी है? To save time, money and effort, to communicate new ideas to people involved, to file patents and to prove new technology and business models. तो थोड़ा इस पे सोचें, थोड़ा विचार करें, क्यों जरूरी है, and then we'll try to address this question. So we've got only one learner as of now. Bhavna, are you in a state to speak, or you there? ठीक है, तो आप लोग थोड़ा समय लें, समझें इस प्रश्न को. डिजाइनर्स के लिए प्रोटोटाइप डेवलप करना क्यों आवश्यक है, क्यों जरूरी है? टू सेव टाइम, मनी एंड एफर्ट. आपका जो समय है, आपका जो पैसा है, आपकी जो मेहनत है, वो बचाने के लिए. टू कम्युनिकेट न्यू आइडियाज, है ना, जो आपके नवाचार हैं उसको आपको दूसरों को बताने के लिए, या फिर पेटेंट फाइल करने के लिए. एंड टू प्रूव न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी एंड बिजनेस मॉडल्स. इनमें से क्या क्या सही है? बिकॉज इट्स अ मल्टी सेलेक्ट क्वेश्चन, you can have multiple correct answers for this. Okay, so you need to think through it कि what would be the right answer for this. Let's help you out. From the content recap, we can see, why the need of prototyping. So it says to save time, money and effort. ये तीनों चीजों में help कर रहा है. You are able to save your money, time and effort to prove radical concepts, new technology, even business models. Okay, to evaluate various aspects of design, communicate new ideas to people involved. ठीक है, तो अगर आप देखो तो प्रोटोटाइपिंग के बहुत सारे बहुमुखी, कहते हैं मल्टी डायमेंशनल बेनिफिट्स हैं हमारे पास. आपका समय, मनी, एफर्ट बच रहा है. आप अपने न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी आइडियाज को प्रूव कर सकते हो. आप इवैल्यूएट कर सकते हो वेरियस एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ डिजाइन एंड टू कम्युनिकेट न्यू आइडियाज टू द पीपल इन्वॉल्व्ड. सो वी गॉट लॉट ऑफ things available, lot of benefits of prototyping, and we saw in the earlier slides that there are different types of prototyping, और उनको आप यूटिलाइज करके you can save a lot of effort. So the correct answer is to save time, money and effort to communicate new ideas to people and to prove it. देखो, फाइलिंग पेटेंट के लिए you need much more refined versions, है ना. You need to have a finished product. You need to have a very very product to a stage where it is no longer a prototype. It's a final product. You need to have specifications drawing. You need to have all those details of dimensioning, different views, and then only you can get it patented. ओके, तो प्रोटोटाइपिंग का स्टेज तो हमारा उससे पहले का है, तो ये हमें इन चीजों में हेल्प करता है. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ वी कंक्लूड our set of 10 questions, and अगर आपने देखा होगा, we have already answered these specific questions. There was one question which was recently posted uh, in the discussion forum, and that was question point number 8. So just take time and try to read point number 8. So it says that in week 9, there was a question which was about the germination stage and what are the different uh, attributes which it entails. Okay. And however, the correct answer was given four of them, which were belonging to the pre-incubation stage as well as to accelerator stage. Okay. So that was correctly pointed out by this particular learner, and we have raised this issue with the NPTEL, and the issue has been forwarded to the NPTEL team. Okay, so we are waiting to hear from them. But according to this particular image, and the kind of question which was posted, it appeared that that there is something incorrect with respect to the assessment. So we are waiting a reply from the NPTEL team, and once we get that, probably if they found it true as well, there will be a change in the marking, and probably they will post a message as well. All right. Okay. So now we are getting into the phase of the content recap. As I mentioned, he was the founder of 3F Designs, Mr. Ashok, who was from the IDC School of Design, and he worked for quite a long period of time at the Philips Electronics, and he's the founder of 3F Design, and his main aim and vision was to make people happy. Okay, and if you see, this is how the uh, his store was with different types of products, quirky products, unusual ones which you don't see out there in the market. And all those things were there in a physical form of a store. And these are some of the other examples. Okay, now what they also did was they shifted their presence. So from a physical store, they also went into online, and they have their, because they saw their audience. A lot of time we tend and we prefer to purchase certain things at our own convenience. We don't want to even go out, or we want to gift it to someone who is staying at a different location. So we directly want to, ship a product to him or her. So that is where I think this was a very thoughtful decision of shifting gears from a physical to an online store. And like the 3F I mentioned, it was about fun function, and that was the essence of their startup. He referenced about this golden toys. So if you are in Maharashtra, if you are near Savantwadi, please do visit this a particular area. I think this is something which is quite interesting, and probably even I, if I'm there around, I'll try to visit this place. I'm just kind of pushing through certain aspects so you can actually see what's what different things about. With this, we discussed about spoons, and how the students were asked to come up with different ideas, and how these ideas were being clustered, represented, and a final concept was being made. Now this stage is very interesting, where the students were asked to make their products using wires, using planes, and using a solid volume. So it helps you understand the properties of a material, the experiential aspect of holding a particular spoon, and the kind of interaction you are having with the product. Okay, so the material helps you in exploration in terms of understanding not only the material but also the entire scheme of things associated with the product. And see the final stage wherein you are enacting with the model, है ना? आपको पता है वो स्पून काम नहीं करेगा, but then you are trying to enact it. आप कोशिश कर रहे हो उसको, use करने की. You are able to experience. You are seeing, how the hand is going, how you are holding the bowl. A lot of insights also comes into play there. These are some of the other solutions which they tried, making it more playful. Having different flavors of it. Somebody made for the kids, somebody made for travelers, somebody made for a bridal tasting spoon. So, you have got life flavors of it. And then we had Professor Kumaresan, who was talking about his POC lab, which is the proof of concept lab. And he shared, a lot of insights about, how we can encourage our students to work on physical prototypes. So he highlighted the importance of it, and he showed lots and lots of examples of, why POC is required, how it helps us communicate. And, well, it all begins with the first step, which is the sketch of an idea or a concept, and then it goes and proceeds further. Okay, so this is very important aspect. While showing your POC model to others, clearly communicate that it is not the final design. ये बताना बहुत जरूरी है कि ये आपका final design नहीं है, because many times what happens is that the person who is trying to view your design or your POC, they realize that okay, this is the final version, and then they'll say, "अरे ये अच्छा नहीं, ये अच्छा नहीं, ये अच्छा नहीं." But the entire essence of POC is that it is a raw and frugal, utilizing frugal methods. So ये सिर्फ एक picture बता रहा है. It is not a finished product. Okay, so this thing needs to be very well conveyed before anyone makes criticizing it, or makes a different meaning out of it. This we have already discussed about designer not ending and keeps on evolving. NPD is a very interesting term called new product development, and many times, there is one way wherein you are trying to improve a product, but then you also try to generate or come up with a completely new segment of it. Okay, so that is where we are talking about the NPD, which is the new product development. Covers the complete process of bringing a new product, जो पहले exists नहीं कर रहा हो. So this is about spirit of prototyping, how prototyping is helping connect the designer and the producer or manufacturer. It's a communication tool, है ना? ये communicate कर रहा है basically आपको. So these are the prototyping as a process. You start with 2D sketches, then you make virtual models, 3D models, और फिर आप आते हैं अपने फिजिकल प्रोटोटाइपिंग पे, जिसमें आप ये सारी चीजें फॉलो करते हैं. ये हमने पहले ही डिस्कस कर लिया. What are the needs of prototyping? What are the different types? Idea, scale, and working. Idea could be crude. Idea stage could be a crude one. Just to make it appear lookalike or scale models, and then final working, which actually works. So these are the different methods of prototyping: additive, subtractive, and forming. Then he says that technology is not a barrier; it's a tool. And yes, we have got Professor Anil Gupta and Dr. Anamika Day, who were working who were basically working with the grassroots innovators, and they shared lots of insights, and they also brought upon three innovators and their challenges. So he told this story about, initially they didn't have this particular dot, and without the dot, it was appearing as if there was something missing. And that's when, the professor stood up and then he made a dot here, and then he said that now everything is complete. Okay, so this is how he said that denial can add so much value by minimalist intervention. So a simple dot actually changed the entire meaning of their logo. This basically highlights, how do you behave like an entrepreneur? You start taking risk, you look at opportunities, you start sticking the neck out, and you think differently. Now, these are the various organizations which Professor Gupta is a part of, including the Honeybee Network, Srishti, Gyan, and the National Innovation Foundation. And he was talking about, the knowledge, feeling, and doing. How do we feel things, and then we shift from samvedana to srijanshilta, and then this term of autopiesis, which is about liberty of a design to improve with usage. Okay, this we have already discussed. And this is the golden triangle model where you have innovation, you have investment, and you have enterprise. So we are trying to, connect all of it together through Gyan. This is Mr. Dharamveer ji, who is into making a lot of machines, a lot of equipments. This is Miss निशी बिस्वास जी जिन्होंने मैनुअल राइस पैडी ट्रांसप्लांटर पे काम किया था. And then they have also done a lot of work in itself. जो abundant US patents थे उनका एक database बनाया है. नेटवर्क एंटरप्रेन्योर पे उन्होंने बड़ा अच्छा एक स्लाइड बनाया था जिसमें हाउ all these things can contribute in terms of networking. म्यूचुअल फ्रेंचाइज है, पूल कैटलॉग आप बना सकते हो, कोऑपरेटिव लर्निंग एंड कोऑपरेटिव मार्केट, पूलिंग इन्वेंटरी, single bid and multiple supplier, and distributed manufacturing. So all these things can actually help in facilitating entrepreneurs and innovators, which either how they mutually grow, how they mutually help each other. That is where all these factors can actually play a very, very important role. As I mentioned, they have completed around approximately 50 Shodh Yatras. The idea is they visit the hot places in the summer and cold places in the winter in order to empathize with them, in order to see the sufferings, in order to see the challenges these people are facing, and then also understanding what kind of innovations these people have been doing in terms of capturing them, in terms of documenting them. So he also mentions that there are 4 teachers: teacher within, teacher among the peers, teacher among the common people, and teacher in the nature. Teacher in the nature very well captured in biomimicry. Okay. So this is something which he mentioned about, having dil bada and dimag bada. So you share, you learn, and you share with a lot of people. So sharing is important. Share a lot, learn a lot. And this we talked about the micro venture innovation fund, where then small loans are provided very nominal interest rate and without any mortgage, without any collateral. These are some of the highlights. Mansukh Bhai Patel. So with that, we conclude our session of today. So it was a pretty long slide deck which I had to prepare, capturing the entire essence of, all the lectures. Probably this time, yeah, let me just stop sharing my screen. Yeah, probably this time we had, more experts, and we had quite lengthy sessions as well. I think it was more than 2.5 hours of lectures which were in this particular week 10. And I hope that you all submit your assignments for week 10 so that you proceed with week 12. Let me quickly show you the week 11 content which is already up now. So the module description says that, just a minute. So part 1 of the last and most important module, where one can learn from the students as they present their entire journey through a startup plan, followed by an elevator pitch. The review and feedback from prominent jury members is key and makes great learning to understand the right and wrong ways to pitch to an investor and correct their mistakes. Such a fabulous module they have added. So this is the lecture 26th. So these are all MTech students of IIT Hyderabad who are doing this startup presentation. And you'll see how many it's something which is long because all the students are presenting. They have more than 2 hours of video which is there, wherein they are preparing and pushing the content. See the jury members as well. They are sitting here. They are kind of giving their feedbacks to all the students. This is the lean canvas where they have pitched in their entire data, and very interesting. So you'll be able to see all these content, all these uh, you know feedbacks which are being given by the eminent jury, and you'll be able to understand what could go wrong, what are the mistakes, or how we can improvise. Okay, so once you are able to go through it, this is where you get additional learning materials, and finally your week 11 quiz, which I think will be available now. Okay, so before attempting all these questions, I would suggest you to please go through the content of week 11 and then only submit it. All right. So you've got 10 questions, again, a set of 10 questions. And I think transcripts, we had an issue that, there were only limited transcripts and we could not have more than five of it. Again, a reply is awaited from the NPTEL team. Whenever I get that, I'll, get back to all of you regarding that.
Sir,
Yes. जी जी बताएं. We can't hear you, Bhavna. I think you have put yourself on mute.
sir, I have a request.
जी जी बोलिए.
Sir, actually, as I told you, I have a kid. तो शाम का सेशन थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है अटेंड करना. Is it possible to have the remaining sessions? I mean, is it possible to have it in afternoon, if possible?
That actually these sessions get floated uh, by the NPTEL team. There is a preset command, and every week they auto, send the messages. So it is not an easy task
Okay,
unless
okay,
there is
okay.
a very strong reason. I mean, for one person, they might not be that. Uh,
I understand, sir. Oh, I was just asking. Anyways,
hmm,
I will go through the recording.
hmm,
But I mean, live sessions are much more fruitful if I have any doubts or if I want to interact, clear my doubts.
that is very true. Uh, Maybe, we just have, a few more sessions now, and probably down the line, probably going ahead and taking any other course, I would ensure that, the timings are better placed. Although, weekends are generally good for students and even the professionals, but I believe that the timing could have been more, appropriate. But the thing is that a timing which is appropriate to you or maybe few others might not be good for the remaining ones.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
a
true.
diff
Fine,
it's
sir.
a
No issues. No problem.
it's a difficult trade-off, but then obviously we'll try to resolve this kind of an issue. And in any case, you have the YouTube recordings available, so that shouldn't be a problem in terms of accessing the content. So even later you would be able to see it. But yes, the live interaction has a different value, which you will miss out those scenarios. Okay then. So let us close the day today, and we'll be having two more dedicated sessions of the same duration, 5 to 7. And let's hope that we all work towards it. We are near our conclusive stages of this course. So exam are also getting near. So a lot of preparation is also required. So I would suggest all to prepare yourselves, work towards it, and try to shine out with great marks and earn certificates so that you can put it in your academics, as well as you can show it off to your friends as well that you have earned a certificate. And the real meaning of the certificate will come when you are able to uh, have a desire of becoming an entrepreneur and going and setting up one of the centers wherein you loop a lot of people and you become a job creator. Okay, so with that I would like to end today's session. So thanks a lot once again for joining me and being a part of this journey, being part of this particular live session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
तो आई थिंक यहाँ से अब हम लोग अपना जर्नी को एंड करेंगे. वी हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू एड्रेस अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, and even I have been able to improvise the entire presentation flow to a greater extent. If I see from week 1 till week 10, बहुत सारे changes I've done in the presentation flow so that it becomes easier for people to understand, to recollect, even if they have not attended uh, the current live sessions, the week wise lecture. So I think this would be helpful to a lot of you if you're watching it, because these snippets and the screenshots basically helps you connect and even get a credible and a validated that it is being shared in the module, so it is the thing which is on the record, which is the correct one. All right, so with that I'll close my session. Thanks a lot. Awesome.